Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to this tutorial. I have done a mugshots spriting tutorial before, but that one is slightly outdated as I've practiced a lot in the past few years, and the quality of my sprites has improved greatly, so I feel like I could actually make a video now with commentary in it. Like, compared to the last one that I made, it had no commentary, so I couldn't really explain what I was doing. And it was also because I fucked up with recording, but that's beside the point. What I'm going to do now is I will make a mugshot sprite, this one, into a mugshot sprite for this character, who is a character in my game. However, she's not gonna actually have a character mugshot, since she's not all that important. So this is just purely for the tutorial's sake. Anyways, we want to make this one into this character, so we're going to do a lot of editing. I'm working in Photoshop, but most programs should have most of these options. Most of the stuff you will be able to do in Paint as well, but since I will be working with layers, it is highly preferred you are actually using a different program. Okay, so we're going to put the opacity to this high. We're using this one as a base, so we're not going to use, we're going to edit the hell back out of this. Well, we can, but it's better to actually have a layer with a sketch of how you want this mugshot to look like at first. I am using a tablet, so things may be a bit easier if you have a tablet to draw on as well. What we're going to do is we're going to sketch. Just very easy. Don't put the mode on clear. Put it on opacity. And we're just going to sketch how the character looks right now. There we go. Okay, so the skull is around here. This is about the size of the skull, so we're going to draw around that and make sure that we don't make it look like the hair is very flat, because that's bad. Also note that we are turning a male character into a female sprite, so you may have to do a few adjustments to generally what you want in the sprite. It may mean that you need to adjust the shape of the face a bit, maybe adjust his eyes a bit, the general thing. We're editing this into this character. So so if we should do this, you have an idea of how it's gonna look. Minus the arm here, of course, because that one is still... that one will be changed only slightly. The rest is just gonna be done from scratch, pretty much. Or edited into something completely different. This works. Alright, so we're going to turn this into this. What we're going to do is we're going to put this layer beneath it, put this one to 100% opacity, and we're just going to start erasing all of the stuff that's in the way of the sketch. So once we start seeing the pink again, we're pretty much good. So just make sure that everything that's in the way of the sketch is, or the outline of the sketch is gone. In this case, just remove his hair and make sure that the skull is just visible at the shape of the skull. Again, I highly recommend using a tablet because it's so much easier. If you have a tablet, please use this for spriting. Please do yourself a favor. Alright. So this isn't usually my way of how I usually sprite because I actually made most of my sprites from scratch by now. But we're still going to do this so people can understand it pretty easily. Okay, so we have the basic skull. What we're going to do now is, to make this easier for people, we will put this one back to this opacity and put it below the layer with the sketch, and we're going to outline stuff. Also, just know, you don't have to be perfectly accurate to the sketch. If you feel like something's off, you're free to change it as you please, because you're the one in charge of making the sprite, and you can do whatever you want. So there's no fear. Just keep trying things out and adjust it as you please, and everything will be okay. I also forgot to draw the eyebrows. But it's easy, so you don't have to worry. Alright, that's pretty much it for the outline. If we remove the sketch now, you can see it a bit more clear how it looks. I forgot the part of the ribbon. You just draw it like this. It's a bit easier. There we go. Alright, there we have it. We need to remove part of the sleeve here. Now you can clearly see where we don't need anything inside anymore. We don't need these, all these little parts outside of the sprite. We don't need these, all of what's inside of the part of the hair, since it's all gonna be a different color. Let me up my brush size a bit. So it's a bit faster erasing it. Be careful I don't go outside those lines. There we go. We don't need, oh, be careful here. We don't need these, since it's all gonna be skin color. as you can see. Well, aside from the bracelet on her wrist, but that's something I can easily add. Pretty much just erase anything that's not the face. The face or the hands, and that's all you really need. Okay, now this looks weird, right? What we're going to do is we're going to erase the mask. Just make sure that this is all gone. You want to keep the shadow on the right side of the face, however. And make sure that you erase the mouth as well. See? This already looks better. You also gotta erase these and make sure that this is all skin color. And there we have our start. Pretty much. Now we can start, now we can remove the sketch layer. We can merge this one with this. So now we have our base layer to work on. And now we can just work on one layer the entire time if we want. What we're going to do though is adjust the skin color to match the one on this sprite. Pretty much just pick the color from your sprite, and then if you're working in Photoshop, you have a option for the paint bucket, and it's called contiguous, and you don't want that checked. So you're going to leave it unchecked, you're going to leave anti-alias unchecked, you're pretty much going to leave all of these unchecked. And what you do is you just fill the colors that you already have with the ones that you want to use. Like so. Now, she's kind of pale, but that shouldn't be the big of an issue if you have more shades. You can just adjust it as you wish. What we're going to do is we're going to make this one a tad shade of darker, and then use this one as the darker shade. And we can use this as a in-between for the lightest one and the normal shading. So we're going to make a few adjustments here. Just to give it a bit of an extra touch for of my own style, really. Of how I like it. Tiny bit more detail on it. Usually that's a bit nicer to look at. Like you can have it in these corners, like for the mouth and the chin and all those tiny details that are on the side, and it generally looks nicer if you have it like that. It's a bit softer on the eye if you zoom to 100%. It's more gradient. You see? Okay, let's put that back. Now we're going to fill the hair color. Now you do want the contiguous on, because otherwise it's going outside the box as I show like this. See? You don't want that. So we're going to put it on contiguous, and now we have the hair color filled up. I'm actually going to change the outline to black again, because otherwise it may be a bit too light. So let's uncheck contiguous again and have this all black. Well, it's almost black. It's not entirely black, but it's okay. I know what I'm doing, I promise. Okay. What you're going to want to do is use the outline to actually have the outline of the mouth drawn out. You will need a darker shade a bit to have a bit more emphasizing on the mouth and all that stuff, because otherwise it's going to blend in with the darker shade over here, and you don't want it to happen because otherwise you can't really see what's happening with the mouth. I'm sorry if these explanations seem dumb, but I'm trying my best. Here, you want to have like a bit of extra shading around the hair, since the bangs are in front of her hair and they throw a bit of shade, so you kind of want to put a bit more detail in those places. Yeah. There we go. Now, next up is the eyes. We're going to take an almost white color, all the way in the blue, and you're just going to draw in the eye whites, like so. It's very simple. Shouldn't be too hard. What you're going to do next is shove the color picker a bit more towards the darker blue side, and pick a bit of a grayish blue shade to shade the eyes with. It can be a bit darker actually. There we go. A bit lighter. There, that's perfect. Okay, you can do this since she has like her teeth showing when she's smiling. You can use those same colors for her teeth. Then you would have it look like this. See? Oh. To make a few adjustments to her nose. There we go. And that's her face shaded pretty much. Going to make a few more adjustments to her fingers so they look a bit nicer. Just have like a touch of shadow in each corner. Just gives a bit more three-dimensional feeling to it. We can use this to actually shade the neck a bit more. Not entirely too light, but it gives space to use this one for things that do not touch the outline. So you want to leave the outside lines, aside from the ribbon, black, for the sake of making it very clear that, yeah, that's where you have your that's the outer lines of the sprite, pretty much. Let me draw a bracelet in. Alright, so next up is her eyes. She has reddish eyes, so I'm just going to color pick those from her original sprite. She has red brownish eyes, so I'm going to make her eye color a bit less saturated and just give it, and I will shade it with a bit more saturated colors so it looks a bit nicer. Because if you look at the Pokemon sprites, you will see that there are the official sprites, you will see that there's multiple colors in her eyes. In most of the sprites' eyes, at least. And one last shade. And then you can add a white sparkle in the eyes. Just to make sure she doesn't have soulless eyes. This is bad. I would feel bad. Actually, let me put that one there. Looks a bit better. Next up is are her glasses. So we're going to take this color and just put it on the outer edges. And then we take the darker color on our glasses and put it here. So we need to use it there as well. And then like so. There we go. Those are our glasses. I guess we can do a bit of shading here as well, but not too much since it's on the darker side of her face. Also, I forgot to mention, this character's name is Hazel. You are going to see her in Xenogene, by the way, but not until like halfway through version 1. She's an optional character you can interact with. Okay, now we're going to color a ribbon. Make sure that we use like this. There we go. This is fine. Just have this colored. Make sure we don't mess with the outline of the hair, actually. See how I did this? There we go, that's better. Just draw over these. If needed, you can just adjust the sprite a bit more with the outline of the ribbon and the hair itself. Just make some few adjustments here and there, it's fine. It's a matter of trial and error, really. I'm probably talking away from the microphone, aren't I? Just realized. Oh well, who cares? Right, so this. Now we can just fill up the rest. Just make sure you check contiguous, and then you can press like this, and there. There you have your ribbon colored. Now we're going to shade it as well. The ribbon, I mean. You can do a bit of dithering. Don't use dithering too much. I used that a lot before, but it's actually not that great. So that's why I also made an updated tutorial, because it's just not accurate to how I sprite anymore. Make sure to leave those corners like that. Looks a bit better. Oops. And have the outline of the ribbons shaded so you can actually separate them from each other, or see where they're separated. Or not the same anymore, whatever. You get my point! There we go. You know, most of the time, when I'm writing, I end up talking to myself. And I'm just... It's a bit embarrassing, really, but I don't really care. It's just a part of how I work, I guess. So don't look at me weirdly for this kind of stuff. A bit of a weirdo, I know. But I like what I do, and it's fun. I like making sprites and artwork. Does this look nice? Let me zoom it out. Yeah, that looks fine. I'm okay with this. Alright, so what we're going to do is, now we're going to shade the hair. We are going to want to magic wand this and not have the tolerance set to 15 because that's not what I want. We just want this hair color selected. Ctrl H makes the selection hidden, but it does let you not draw outside the boundaries like so, see? We are going to take this darker shade over here, and we will draw the basic outline of where you want the shading, since we're going to have a place highlighted. Oops, don't move the window. Like so. Everything that's below this pretty much, except for this strand of hair here. Oh shit, I'm not supposed to clear that. You want this shaded for the strand of hair, and you want these to be not shaded, and the rest can be all dark. And this part as well. So I have all these things in the corners for extra three-dimensional feeling. Oops. There we go, the rest can be like this. And you already have your basic shading, pretty much. Know that shading is hard at first. It takes practice. But if you just keep on looking very closely to how they shade it with the official sprites, and just generally look how people shade their sprites, and look at the lighting and lighting of hair, and look up a bunch of reference tutorials. There's a buttload of stuff out of there, like on DeviantArt and maybe ArtStation as well, but Google Images should also help with finding tutorials, and there's plenty of artists out there who are willing to help you learn how to do this kind of stuff. So don't be afraid to look up reference. I know there's a lot of stigma on it, but it's so useful. In fact, my school actually recommends that you look up reference, so please do. Do yourself a favor, love yourself, and just look up reference when you're drawing art. When you're drawing, when you're spriting, when you're doing stuff. It's super useful. I tend to ramble while I'm spriting, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. See? Now we have our darker shade. And that's basically the basic shading of what we want. So it's very simple, but it's effective. As you can see, we can add deselect our stuff just by clicking the select tool and doing that. We want to make the outline of the hair transfer a bit more towards the darker, to almost black color. So instead of using the color that's on here, because I don't know why I use that, slide it a bit down to this. It's a bit too close to the darkest shade, so let's put it like this. It's a bit nicer. You're just going to want to draw over the black that's not the outline of the sprite. It's basically like this. See? Just did it for everything here. Okay, so now we're going to do a darker color. Also, sorry if it's like sometimes randomly interrupted because I get interrupted by my mom often these days. Oh, I'm not supposed to touch the outline. Right. I forgot about that. I am not supposed to touch this part. I'm supposed to, if this is the skin color actually. There we go. See? Do want to have this one a bit darker though. Let's keep it like this. It's better. If you want to highlight, you can, because there's no highlights in this sprite. You can put your color bit up to here and make it a little so saturated. And then you can use this. Just to have a little bit extra flair to it. That's good. Okay, so that's her face and her hair and everything. That's all done now. What we're going to do next is the shirt. So first we're going to take the color from the shirt and put it on here on our shirt. Let's remove the background for this, because you actually can see that you are filling this up. I still need to shade her arm, I just realized, but okay. That's fine. Also, her bracelet shares the color of her hair, so you can just copy paste, use the colors from her hair for this bracelet. I'll do it real quick actually. Just have it like this, then go like this, and that's it pretty much. That's all you need to do. For her arm, just keep it simple, don't make too much work out of it. Fill it up, and the last bits of the arm on the side, just keep it like this. There we go. And put in the corners just a tiny bit of extra shading, and that's it. That's all you need to do. I just have to add that real quick. There you go. Alright, so all there's left is her shirt. That's all there's left to do now. Just start with basic shading, with where you want your shadows to be. So, since this is an armpit, you will want shadow here, even though it's like against the light, or facing the light, but since there's something covering it, there will be no light falling there. There you go. Just have like a bit of shading here for sleeves and make it extra puffy. Just have the corners with these colors on a bright white. And there you go. Oh man, I'm hungry. There we go. These are the buttons that are here, by the way. So, next color, we're just going to make it a bit darker on these sides. And please know, even though it make it look so simple, shading is difficult. So don't be upset when it doesn't work on the first try. Just keep practicing. Keep looking closely at examples from official artwork and all that stuff. It's very helpful. Look at the original sprites. There's also shading tips on there. Draw what you see. There's nothing else really to it. Just draw what you see, and that helps. Even though I've given my own twist by it because I've gotten so used to working with this, it's very helpful to look at the official artwork just to see like how do they work with this? How do they sprite this? I don't understand why I did it like this. It looks like then look at this. That's better. Oops, don't touch the outline. And that's it. That's our sprite done. Ow. Yeah, if you look at this and have this one at 100%. 100%. There you have your news reporter lady. And we're done, so thank you very much for watching. If you liked what I showed you, leave a like, it'd be nice. Good luck with your spriting endeavors if you're going to do something with this. And if you finish something thanks to the tutorial, please show me. I would love to see it, actually. Good luck and have fun, most of all. So, see you guys later. Bye bye.